So today we're going to do a lower back focus class. We're really going to be working on foundation today. So lower back, no matter where you are, right? If you're on your hands and knees, if you're standing, if you're just balancing on your hands, we really want to press down into our foundation. So we don't want lazy feet, we don't want lazy hands, even when we're laying on our back, fully laid out, which we will be eventually. You really want to bring a sense of roundedness to the body, so that's going to help support your lower back. And we'll also talk about the inner thighs, pulling the inner thigh muscles in and up, and that helps to support the weight of your torso instead of letting it just kind of dump in. So we'll do some of those things today, and also core, right? So pulling your belly button in and up is enough to support your lower back. So if we have a strong core, we have a strong and flexible back, and we'll get going. Drink water. We're going to start today just in an easy seated pose. Unless your knees are okay with a Virasana, if they are, you'll take a block or two, take them behind you, then hug the block with your ankle bones and sit. And you want your block on a wider width, not the skinny width, okay? Just so it gives you a little bit more room. And as we sit in Virasana or Sukhasana, easy seated pose, support yourself. So if you do have a lower back that tends to be a little bit stiff, you'll want to support yourself either with a block or a blanket. So if you're in Sukhasana, take a blanket, fold it so that you have a little bit of lift here, and then sit on the rounded edge. So as you sit on the rounded edge, draw your belly in and up and sit up nice and tall. If you need a little bit more height and you happen to have two blocks, take your blocks side by side, like so, and then you'll come in front. Again, sitting more towards the edge of your blocks, and let the knees drop. So you can see my knees are below the level of my hips, which is good for the hips. It doesn't impede blood flow. So if we're sitting and our knees are really high, we're pinching here in the hips, and we're impeding a little bit of blood flow. Like, not enough to do any damage, but you just might become uncomfortable quicker. Right, so the goal to support yourself in your meditation is to just be able to sit there for a little bit longer and to really reap the benefits of your meditation. So hands on your thighs, regardless of how you're sitting. And right away, we're going to draw our belly button in and up, and then lengthen up through your spine. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale it out through the mouth. We'll do that one more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's do one more. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. And then settle in. Bring your awareness to your breath. And then just breathe in and out of your nose. Allow your inhale to slow down. And let your exhale be long. With your inhale, lift the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Get nice and tall. And as you exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine and then up. So it's like a little scoop. And hold that height that you just created. Exhale, nice and slow, longer than your inhale. 5 rounds of breath here. Just observing your breath as it moves in and out of your body. And allow yourself to be fully present here. And you've taken the time to watch and practice yoga this morning, or allow yourself to really be here. So if thoughts come in to your brain, which they will, because that's the brain's job, is to think, just let it go. Begin to practice detached awareness to your thoughts. Imagine that your thoughts are words on a screen and they just scroll by. Keep sitting up tall in your spine. With every exhale, draw your belly button in. This is how we're going to strengthen our abdominal muscles. We'll begin to strengthen, support, and soften our back muscles. One more breath in. Long breath out. Bring your hands to your heart center and bow your head to your heart. Open your eyes, gaze through your fingertips to the floor. And really gently and slowly I'm going to come off of the blocks because I chose to sit on the blocks. You might want to be a little bit lower than sitting on blocks for our next series of poses. As you inhale, sweep your arms out and up. If you're in Virasana, you'll be okay here. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach out and up. Interlace your fingers at the top and then flip your palms towards the ceiling. Draw your belly button in. So you want to support the torso and your lower back the whole time. So keep that belly button drawn in slightly. Think about here, your inner thigh muscles. You want to pull them in and up. Good, and push down into your sits bones. As we talked about foundation, push down, whatever's touching the floor, push down. Lift your palms up, maybe look up if that's okay for your neck. Breathe in. Exhale, take the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good, open through the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, release your hands, come forward, interlace, press forward and tuck your chin to your chest. Now here, really tuck your belly button in. Keep your fingers interlaced. Inhale, reach up, overhead. Exhale, hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, sit up tall. Breathe in. Exhale, draw the belly in, release the hands, press your palms forward. Good, one more time like that. Inhale, lift the palms up overhead. Exhale, hands behind you, squeeze. Breathe in. Exhale, release forward, interlace and push. Draw your belly button in. And then take your hands into your lap, sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders. Roll them in the opposite direction. Good, and then sit up nice and tall. So regardless if you're in Sukhasana or Virasana, twist to your left. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe in and lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, draw your belly button in, stay in your twist. Inhale, come to center, reach your arms up. So create length here through the side body. Exhale, twist to your right, hands down. So sitting up nice and tall, lengthen up. Draw your belly button in as you exhale. See if that can help you twist a little more. Inhale, up to center, both arms up, look up. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, come to center, reach up. Exhale, twist to your right. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale to your left. Inhale up, keep pulling the inner thighs up into the pelvis. Exhale, twist to your right. Good. Come to center, reach up. And then exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center. We'll get into our side waist here. It's a little bit of a stretch. Take your left hand down, reach your right arm up and over to the left side of the room. You want to feel this stretch throughout the whole side body, through the hip, side waist, maybe even into your armpit. So make sure that your sits bones are grounded down, right? So that's what's touching. Push down to reach over. Inhale, come up, both arms up. Exhale, take your right hand down, left arm reaches up and over. Sits bones are planted. So sometimes the sits bones want to like lift up. You're not getting as much of a stretch that way, so ground down and reach. Turn your chest up a little bit. You can take your right hand a little bit further out if you want to deepen your stretch. Inhale, come up. Reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up and over. Inhale, come up. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. Let's do that one more time on each side. Inhale, up, ground down your sits bones. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. Exhale, over. And now come up. Hands to your heart center. Let's come onto our hands and knees. So here's where, if you have a blanket and you want a little support for your knees, go ahead and do that. You'll come onto hands and knees, like I said. Hands here are shoulder width apart, and your index finger points to 12 o'clock. Your knees will be about hips distance apart. And then I want you to press down into the tops of your feet. So you're nice and solid here. So we talk about foundation. Push the top of your feet, your shins, your hands. Really push, like you're pushing your chest away from the floor. And then draw your belly button in and up. So nice and supported here. And then we'll come into cat-cows in this really supported, grounded fashion. As you inhale, pull your chest forward, lift your sits bones. Might not be as big as you're used to going into cat-cow. Exhale, draw your belly button deep in, tuck your chin to your chest, really push the floor away from you. Inhale, cow pose, draw your shoulder blades down. Exhale, cat pose. Keep pushing the tops of your feet down into the mat. Press your shins down. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. 2 more like that. Inhale, nice and solid in your hands. Push down into your hands. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come to a neutral spine. Reset yourself. Okay, so hands are solid, fingers are spread. Push down into your hands, push down into your knees, your shins, pull your belly in. Take your right leg back. Keep your heel in line with your hips. So we don't want it too high because then you're crunching your lower back. We don't want it too low. Stay right here in the center if you can. If you can, then just keep your toes down on the floor. Right? If you're having a little bit of a balance issue. Take your left hand forward. Now pull your belly button in. Notice if it starts to sag down towards the floor, that's going to put pressure on your lower back, and it's going to strain your lower back muscles. So keep the belly drawn in and up. And now think about your joints, the joint in your hip. So the ball and socket joint, I want you to kind of suck the ball and socket joint up into its, I don't know, whatever it rests into, right? So just pulling the hips in. Good, nice and long here. Press your heel back, but you're trying to pull the hip into socket. That's the word I was looking for, socket, right? Breathe in. Exhale, take it down. Right, so you should feel that through the glutes. Take your left leg back. Press down into the top of your right foot so that opposite leg is pushing down, creating that solid foundation. Draw your belly button in so you're supporting the lower back. Reach your right hand forward and then pull your left femur bone into socket, right? Reach your right arm forward and pull your right shoulder back. So when I did that, I plugged those both in, my belly dropped. So I'm gonna re-pull the belly in and up. Pushing down into the floor, like whatever's touching the floor, I'm pushing down. And my gaze is just straight down to the floor. I don't need to look forward, I can just look down here. So my spine is nice and long. Let's take one more breath. And then exhale, take it down. Come into child's pose, a little short child's pose, big toes touching, knees wide, forehead down. If that doesn't feel good for your lower back, adjust your knees. So maybe the knees need to be closer together. You know, find what works. And as you exhale, let your chest drop towards the floor. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, draw your belly button in and up. Come back up onto your hands and knees. All right, so as we move, we're supporting the movement with the belly, drawing in. Now take your right knee out to the side. So I'll kind of face you here. Knee out to the side. Flex your foot, and then let's make circles. All right, they don't have to be big. Push down into the floor with your hands and your standing leg. Let's go in the opposite direction. Keep your right foot flexed. Spread your toes apart from each other and your belly in. Good, one more circle. And then come back to neutral. Reset your hands and your knees. Pushing down into your foundation. Take your left leg out to the side. Flex your foot. And then circles. Whichever direction, doesn't matter. Push down into your right shin. Top of your right foot. Keep your belly in. Go in the opposite direction with your circles with the left knee. Solid in the leg. And then come down. Good. Let's come onto our backs. As you come down onto your back, I just want you to keep your feet on the floor, knees up, and we'll do some pelvic tilts, right? Really helpful to strengthen the core and stretch out and strengthen the lower back. So take a big inhale and let your belly come forward, and you'll have some space underneath your back, between your back and your mat. Then as you exhale, draw your belly button in, and you want to feel your lower back completely on the floor, so your whole back is connected to your mat. Really draw the belly in. Inhale, let the belly come forward, let everything go. Exhale, draw your belly in. Inhale. And I really want you to squeeze on the exhale, draw the belly in, like even make fists, right? So you kind of remind yourself. I want you to squeeze your leg muscles too. Inhale, let the belly go forward. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, let it go forward. And exhale, draw your belly in. Now from here, keeping the belly pulled in and up, I want you to lift your knees up. Flex your feet and spread your toes and take your hands behind your back. So we're going to do some modified sit-ups, right? Not huge. So flex your feet here. Keep the belly button drawn in. You want to feel your lower back on the floor. Actually, your whole back on the floor, except for your shoulders. You want those to lift up. And let's just hold here. Flexing the feet, drawing the belly button in, and your gaze should be up towards the ceiling. Don't crunch your neck here. Right? You don't need to look at your belly button. Look up. Try to lift your shoulders up off of the mat for 10, 9, 8, elbows wide, 7, 6, 5, squeeze your shoulder blades, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your head rest back down on the floor. Take your hands, palms down by your hips. And we'll just do some bicycles, but without the arms. So just the legs. Take your right foot forward, flex both feet, and then switch. I want you to pull your inner thigh muscles in and up and think about sucking the femur bones right up into the hip socket. And switch. And switch. 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 Just keep going here. Keep your belly button in and up. Notice if your back came off the floor a little bit. Hold it here. Keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Whew. And then rock from side to side. Now keep a hold of your right shin, extend your left leg forward. Just take a stretch here. So you're hugging your right knee in, make sure the belly is drawn in. And then your left leg, push down your heel into the floor. Draw your shoulders down too. Good. Take a little twist to the left. Now your right hip's going to come up off of the floor. Right hip will be over the left. And reach your right arm out to the right side of the room. Inhale, come to center. Let's take a full body stretch here. Exhale, hug your left knee in. So flex both feet. You want to feel your lower back on the floor, especially, so draw your belly button in and up. Push your right heel into the floor. Leg is strong. So just stretching here in the left leg. Deep breath in. Long breath out. And let's take a twist. Twisting over to your right side. Take your left arm out to the left side. Now your left hip's going to stack over your right. Just feel that twist through the body. Make sure your right foot is pushing down into the floor and supporting everything that's going on above it. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, hug both of your knees in. Nice and slow. Now keep your lower back on the floor. Keep your whole back on the floor. Inhale, take a full body stretch. Reach, go really slow. Arms reach back behind you. Feet push forward. Flex your feet. Try to keep your belly in. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest. All right, so it's a really slow inhale. Methodical here. Flex your feet. Trying to keep your lower back on the floor. So you got to scoop the belly in and up. Exhale, draw your knees in. Good, inhale, slow, reach the arms back, feet go forward so they're like a counterweight. Exhale, hug it in nice and slow. Are you shaking yet? Because I am. Inhale, let's go, one more time. Exhale, hug it in. Nice, rock from side to side. Make some circles. Go in the opposite direction. Okay, bring your knees parallel to the floor, arms out to the side, palms down so you have support. Flex your feet, draw your belly button in, and then see if you can drive your shoulder blades into the floor. And then roll your knees to the right. Inhale, bring your knees up to center. Exhale, roll your knees to the left. And just go side to side like that. When you come up, make sure your shins are parallel. They like to hug into your knees because it makes it easier on you. Try to keep the knees at a 90-degree angle. And you're just going side to side until I say stop. Well, we're not stopping yet. Right, keep the belly drawn in and up, especially when you're trying to pull the knees back up. Really let your belly do the work. So draw the belly in, knees come up. Other side, kind of let it go a little bit. Draw the belly in, bring your knees up. And then try it without pulling your belly in and up. It feels like there's a lot of pressure on the outer hip and legs that way. Okay, but if I use my belly to draw it in, whoop, there go my knees. They didn't want to stay parallel. Okay guys, one more time, side to side, you got this. Bring your knees up to center, hug your knees into your chest, pick your head up, make yourself into a little ball. Let your head drop. Let's roll to the side to a seated position. Really quick, sit up nice and tall. Come into a Janu Shirshasana just because it feels like the right thing to do. Flex your right foot, sit up tall in your spine, and then pull your left foot into the right leg. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then exhale, just bring your hands on either side of your leg wide. Right, so we're not grabbing onto our leg right now. Usually Janu Shirshasana I do towards the end of a class. So especially when we're doing it in the middle of a class, I want your hands to be just kind of neutral. As you inhale, lengthen up through your spine, so the collarbones will lift. As you exhale, pull your belly in, and then whatever's touching the floor, you're pushing down into, right? Except for your hands, they're soft. So let your body do the work of the fold instead of just your hands, because a lot of times we grab our shin or our foot and we're like, oh, I'm gonna pull myself into that. No. Let the whole body do the work. And even though your hands aren't super active, they are balancing you. So they are doing something. And then inhale, come up. Take your left leg forward, right foot in. I like to scoop my left sits bone back. Well, both sides, but I'm on the left side now, so just scoot that back a little bit. So you press into your heels, scoot that back, so you get more of a stretch into your hamstrings. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold forward. So again, hands light on either side of your left leg. Try to let your toes lift up towards the ceiling. When you inhale, lengthen the spine, lift your collarbones. Exhale, draw your belly button in and fold. You should feel this in the lower back. Right to the top of your glutes. Right, let your whole body do the work. Inhale, lengthen, lift your collarbones. Exhale, draw your belly button in and fold. Two more breaths. And then inhale, rise all the way up, come into a cross-legged position, and just do some torso rolls. Notice where you feel that. I always feel that right in my lower back area. You don't have to go super low with the chest. You can stay up a little bit taller. Go to where your body feels okay. Go in the opposite direction. So Janu Shirshasana and these torso rolls are kind of like an intermission for our practice, right? We're at the halfway mark. We did some good work on the floor. One more big circle. And then let's come up. So come onto your hands and knees. Again, set your foundation. So press down into your hands. Push down into your shins. Curl the toes under. Remember to pull your belly button in and up. And then come into downward facing dog. So here I want you to bend your right knee and then press your left heel down. So we're getting a nice stretch of the back of our leg. Keep your belly button drawn in and up, and then tilt your sits bones up towards the ceiling. You should get a deeper stretch. Give a little bend in your elbows so you're not locking your elbows out. And then switch sides. So you're going to bend your left knee. Let your right heel drop towards the floor. So you're taking that stretch into the right leg. Now draw your belly button in and up, and then tilt your sits bones up towards the ceiling. That should increase your stretch. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Just play around here and see how you can deepen this for yourself. Right, bend your elbows, draw the shoulder blades down, let your head drop. One more inhale. One long exhale. Tilt the sits bones up again if they dropped. And then take both heels down towards the floor, straightening both legs. Look forward and then walk your feet forward. And let's come into a ragdoll pose. So feet here are going to be hips distance apart. I want you to push down into your feet. Legs are strong. Think about your femur bones, right, the top of the femur bone, pulling up into the hip socket. Draw your belly in. One last thing, inner thigh muscles pull in and up, and then fold. Just grab opposite elbows. All right, that's a lot more instruction than I usually give for a forward fold. But we want to make sure our foundation is strong, our femur bones are pulled in, and our inner thigh muscles are pulled up. So this forward fold might feel a little different than what you're used to. Maybe lift and spread your toes up off the mat, so you're plugging more into your heels. Keep drawing your belly button in nice and strong on your exhale. Might help you to fold a little deeper. The legs got lazy, fire them back up. And then release your hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, draw the belly in, pull your chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, push into your feet, legs are strong. Lift your arms. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. So take your feet hips distance apart if they got out of alignment. We're going to talk about Tadasana again here. So pull your belly in and up and drop your tailbone. Your legs are strong, so the femur bone's pulling up, inner thigh muscles pulling up. And then lift tall in your spine, so the crown of your head is lifting up towards the ceiling. Notice if you lock the knees out, I want you to give a little bend in your knees. Take your arms up. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms towards the ceiling. So as the palms reach up, shoulder blades move down, and then lean to your left. Solid in your feet. So now this right foot, push it down into the floor a little bit more. See if you can increase your stretch. Inhale, come to center, reset the belly, pull the belly in, Drop your tail. So as I was leaning over, my tush started to go back. So I want to pull my belly in. So instead of my sits bones pointing back, they're going to point down. If that makes sense. Come up. Center, reset Tadasana. Bend your knees slightly, belly in, tailbone drops. As your palms reach up, your shoulder blades move down, lean to your right. Make sure that you can breathe freely in your side bend. If you can't come out a little bit, you want to stay with a nice steady breath. Push down into your left foot. And then inhale, come to center. Exhale, arms down, come back into it's a tongue twister. Tadasana. Palms forward, sit up tall. Good. Just gaze forward for a moment. Take a few breaths here in this strong Tadasana. Good. So if you have wall space available, I want you to go over to the wall. If you don't, you're going to do a chair pose. In your chair pose, if you don't have wall space available, you can even go against the door because we're not really going to do a lot of movement. We're just going to lean up, right? So if you're without that, I want you to keep your chair pose really tall. So the concentration is belly in and up. So instead of a chair like this, it's a chair like this. Belly in, tailbone down. So we can do that pretty easily if we're at the wall. So if you do have wall space, I want you to get your back up against the wall and then slide your torso down so you're bending the knees. And give yourself some space here with your feet. You don't want your feet tight up against the wall. And draw your belly in and up so that your whole back is on the wall. Take your hands to your lap and let your head come against the wall as well. Draw the belly in. So you're going to notice that the belly's going to want to pop forward and space will come between you and the wall. Keep the belly in. And then if you want to, like an added challenge is to take your arms back behind you. Doesn't matter if they don't touch. Like this arm for me doesn't really like to go all the way. That's the surgery side. Left side is good. So come into goalpost arms if you're wanting to do that. So I just noticed as I was talking, my belly was going forward. So draw the belly in, reset, get the whole back on the floor. You could go a little higher if you wanted to with your arms. We're going to stay here for a count of 10, 9, 8, notice the belly, 7, push into your feet, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your hands forward, hands on your thigh, come forward, and stand up. Roll your shoulders. Okay, so that was a lot of work for our legs, which is great. And we're starting to open up through the chest because the more we slump forward, let's see, so here's Tadasana, right? So nice, belly in, tailbone down, chest lifted. If we start to come forward, we walk like this, I'm pushing my lower back out and I'm straining these muscles here. So we want to stay tall, belly in, down with the tailbone. Everything is active and aligned. All right, so our next pose. Coming into pyramid pose. So here, if you have blocks, great. If not, no worries. You don't need them to do it. Take your right foot forward and your left foot back. And then take some space between your feet. All right, I don't want your feet in a tight rope. I want some length here. As you inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Tailbone drops down. Foundation important, so push into your feet here and squeeze the leg muscles. Femur bone pulling in, Inner thigh muscles pulling up. Inhale, reach your arms up. You're dropping the tailbone down. As you exhale, pull your outer right hip back. You want to keep your hips even here. Reach forward. Now notice, reaching forward, holding it here, my body starts to go to the left. I'm going to pull my outer right hip back so that my arms are forward. And then fold. Here's where the blocks can help you. Bring the floor up to you. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep pulling the outer right hip back. And if you need to, take your thumb into your hip crease, pull the hip back, and fold. Make sure you're solid in the feet, like don't get sloppy here in your feet. Squeeze the leg muscles in. Remember to pull the femur bone into the socket. Draw your belly button in and fold. Notice your inner thigh muscles, squeeze them in and up. Right, it's like a dance. You pay attention to one area, the other area lets go. So just keep rotating, right? Feet, hips, inner thigh, belly. Feet, hips, inner thigh, belly, fold. Good, stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, draw your belly in, pull your chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Hands to your heart. Good. Now left foot forward for pyramid pose. So make your feet a little wider apart from each other. Maybe wider than you're used to. Feet at 12 o'clock so they're facing the same direction. Inhale, lift up tall on your spine. Draw your belly in and let the tailbone drop. Reach your arms up. Get length here through the side body. Now as you exhale, pull your outer left hip back as you reach forward. Hold it here for a moment. Push down into your feet. Pull the outer left hip back. Right, so your arms reaching straight forward. And then fold, coming down. Hands on either side of your front foot. You can use blocks. Be solid in your feet. So push down into your feet. Right, so see how I kind of lift up a little bit. Take a halfway lift. So you emphasize that. As you exhale, pull the outer left hip back. Pull the femur bones in. Inner thigh muscles squeeze in, and then fold. So your legs are super solid here. Right, you're not going anywhere. And remember that rotation. Feet, hips, pull the femur bone in. Inner thigh, lift it up. Draw your belly button in. Fold. Again, feet, hips, inner thigh, belly, fold. Keep doing that. You can even lift your toes up off the floor a little. It's going to intensify this pose. Deepen your breath. We're here for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw your chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Rise up. Hands to your heart. Good. Just take a moment here. Gaze through your fingertips to the floor. And then shake it off. Whew. So you feel that activity in your legs, right? My left leg now is buzzing. Okay. Sadly, we're running out of time. So let's do Uttita Hasta Padangustasana, standing balancing pose. So you're going to start with your feet hips distance apart. Sit up tall, come into Tadasana, so tailbone's dropping, belly in. Stay tall on your spine. Take your right knee forward. Now notice, I don't want the knee up higher than your hip level. So, and I want the hips even with each other. And just hold on to your right knee. Press down into your standing foot. Squeeze the leg muscles. You're trying to lock the femur bone up into place. Even your inner thigh muscles are working now. Pull them in and up. Left hand stays on your left hip. So you can stay here. I want you to make sure that that right hip is dropped down so it's even, or you can take your knee out to the side. So we're always pushing down into the standing foot. This lifted leg, the foot is flexed. Perhaps left arm reaches out, and gaze reaches out too. And so notice if you start to get weak in the leg, right, I'm putting a lot of pressure here in my pelvis, so I'm going to push into my foot, draw the belly in, whoop, and then take my knee out a little bit further. So you're always adjusting here, making sure that your foundation is strong, and then build from there. Okay, bring your right knee forward and down, shake it out. Whew, a lot of work here, right? Now, start back into Tadasana. So feet are hips distance apart, belly in, tail down. Nice and open here. Draw the left knee forward. Hang on to your left knee. Notice what's happening here in the right leg. Push strongly down into your foot. See, I get a little taller. A little bend in your knee so you're not locking your knee out. Try to pull the femur bone up into the hip socket, both sides. Inner thigh muscles are squeezing in and up. Stay sitting up nice and tall. Hips are even. Right, so even though we're creating this lift, right, of the standing leg, that left hip stays even. You can stay there or take your left knee out. Stay here with your hand on your hip or left arm reaching out. Notice if you start to slump down, re-engage from your foundation up. Gaze perhaps turns over your right hand. Every exhale, draw your belly button in a little bit stronger. Couple more breaths, you got this. Push down into your foot, flex your left foot, sit up tall, hips are even, and then bring it forward. Good. Shake it out. Nice work. Come to the front of your mat. Good. And inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come down to your hands, take your feet back into a high plank. So draw your belly in and then lower all the way to the floor. You've got time for one belly down back bend. So in your back bends, you're trying to lift your collarbones and draw your shoulder blades down so the upper back is moving. So if you're trying to do a back bend, whether it's belly down or a bridge pose or whatever else is out there, right? The camel pose, right? That's a back bend. I want you to, let's come on to for Sphinx pose. So you're on your forearms, elbows right underneath your shoulders. Now here, draw your belly button in, right? So you're supporting your lower back. Legs, I want you to press the top of your feet down into the floor. Your knees are going to lift up a little bit. Drive your thighs down. Pull the femur bone in. Squeeze your inner thighs in. I know it's a lot. Pull your chest forward, lift your collarbones, and then draw your shoulder blades down your back. My right foot is cramping, so I'm going to curl the toes under. I'm still going to draw my belly in. Now, if you feel any pressure on your lower back, lower down. Maybe you'll do just a little cobra. Otherwise, you're coming down to the forearms. Pull back on your mat with your hands so that you pull your chest forward even more. You stay strong in your belly. Your exhale, really draw the belly in. Try not to squeeze your glutes. Good, one more breath, you guys. Strengthening our back muscles here. And then come down. Stack your hands, let your forehead come down. Let everything drop, loosen up. Shake your hips from side to side. And then bend your knees and windshield wiper your knees back and forth. One more time, side to side. And then feet down. Come up, let's come to a seated pose. Take the soles of your feet together. Knees out. Sit up tall, grabbing onto your shins or your ankles. Breathe in, lift your collarbones up. Draw your shoulder blades down. Let's hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold forward, taking the elbows into the thighs. Keep drawing your chest forward and up. Belly button pulls in to help you stretch the back. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sit up tall. Take your feet out to the side. Upavishta Konasana. Flex your feet. Push your heels down. Femur bone is pulling in. Inner thigh muscles pulling in and up. Sit up tall on your spine. Hands are going to be where they're comfortable. So hands on the legs, maybe out to the side, or on blocks. Good, sit up, sit up. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to sit up and stay here for 10, 9, flex your feet, spread your toes, 7, 6, 5, upper arm bones back, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees in. Give yourself a hug, sit up tall. Keep a hold of your right shin, left leg will go forward, right into a twist. Sitting up nice and tall. Come to center, other side. Left leg in, right leg forward. This leg is pushing down. Sit up tall, pushing your sits bones down, twist. As you exhale, draw your belly in. And then inhale, come forward, both feet forward, flex your feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Here you can give a little pressure with the hands if you want to create a deeper fold. Just really listen to your body. Don't push it past what it's able to do in this moment. One more breath. Draw your belly in. And then we'll come all the way up. Come onto your back. So feet on the floor, knees up, and then take your right foot on top of your left thigh. Draw your belly button in and up so that your lower back is nice and flat on the floor, and then take your left leg in. Flex both feet. Take a couple deep breaths. With your exhale, draw the belly button in and pull your leg a little closer. And then take a few soft breaths. And then lower your leg, feet to the floor, and switch sides. So left foot on top of the right thigh. Draw your belly in and up. Get your lower back on the floor and then take your leg in. Right, so you're supporting the weight of your leg coming forward into your chest by drawing your belly button and supporting everything. Your lower back, the weight of the leg. So you're not stressing out your lower back. Couple deep breaths to intensify. On your exhale, draw your belly in, draw your leg closer. And then softer breaths. Bring your feet to the floor. Take your feet wide on your mat. Draw your belly button in, your lower back's flat. And then you're just windshield wipering your knees back and forth. Do that a couple more times. And then bring your knees up to center. Extend your legs forward. Palms up, shoulders down for your Shavasana. And take your Shavasana. Let your eyes close. And let your body relax. And so here your whole body is just melting into the floor. Let your breath soften. Let the muscles of your face soften. Let your jaw relax. Take in your practice. Let it absorb into every cell. Now begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Draw your belly button in and up. Bring your feet to the floor, knees up. Draw the belly in again, and then take your knees into your chest. Roll to your side, and then bring yourself up to a seated pose. Sit up nice and tall, pulling the femur bones in, inner thighs, draw in. Take your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your right, and bow your head. Thank you for sharing your practice today. We'll seal our class with a chant of 1 Om. Inhale. Om. Namaste.